I have 2 scoreboards up. There we go. Welcome everybody to game 1 of the Hidden Cup 2 qualifier. To briefly explain this for those that might be seeing this on YouTube in the future, because you definitely will, Hidden Cup 2 has 14 of their 16 players based off their rating and skill. And then we need to find the final 2 players, and there's a 16-man bracket that players will be fighting through, and whoever gets to the finals gets the 15th and 16th spot. So this will give us an idea of what the maps will be like for Hidden Cup 2, and this will go for just a few weeks. And then it's just full-on promotion for the main event, which will happen on April 11th through the 14th. We have LaaaaaN, our 5th seed, playing as the Aztecs in the red. And then we have Yinghua. Yinghua is our 12th seed in the 16-man bracket, and he's playing as the Incas. Incas was one of the civilizations he chose nice and early. I think he'll go for some type of a tower rush, and game 1 is Arabia. Game 1 is Arabia. Then game 2 will be the home map pick of the loser of game 1. And then game 3 will be the loser of the previous game as well. I can explain more of this in the future. And then the 2 maps that are brand new for this tournament will be featured in game 4 and game 5 if we get there. But expect some lames, guys. The main event, there's a $10,000 prize pool. Over $10,000 actually. So these players are going to want to get there to get a chance at the prize pool, a chance at the glory. And they're both meso civs. Eagles have insane line of sight. So here comes the eagle forward. No pigs on this side for Yanghwa. He's fortunate. And it's no pigs on this side for LaaaaaN. He's fortunate. So far, everyone will have their pigs. But you never know when there's eagles roaming around. Now, Hidden Cup 2 Arabia has had some changes from previous Arabias. So I'll briefly talk about this while I have the time. Hidden Cup 2 Arabia has slightly less elevation. You'll notice there are hills, but it's not as extreme. Well, it's about a 5 tile height versus a 7 or 8 tile height, which you'd find in previous Age of Empires 2 Arabias. So hills are always important in Age of Empires 2. It just makes it less brutal for the players. Apart from that, players are always going to have a safe wood line. Normally, in my experience, at least casting the games, they have at least 2 safe wood lines. I mean, Yanghwa's base is not great by Hidden Cup 2 Arabia standards, but it's certainly fine, right? It wood, and then you could wall in his gold. The stone could be of concern for him, but anyway, so those are the big changes. The other thing that's worth noting is that the deer are normally in loreable distance. So there are other things that bothered me about some maps where you'd have one person. Oh, you see what Yinghwa's trying to do. He's thinking about laming here. Now that's not gonna happen. Sorry, Yinghwa. LaaaaaN was wait. What? Well, that's good for LaaaaaN in the sense that he got the extra attack there. But anyway, I don't know exactly what's happening here. I'm trying to tell a story here. I'm trying to talk about this, Yinghwa. Jeez. Alright, LaaaaaN gets his pig in. And the other thing that bothered me about previous Age of Empires 2 maps is that sometimes players would have 4 deer close, and then someone else would have 4 deer far away. So what Hidden Cup 2 Arabia and most of the maps in Hidden Cup 2 have done is made it fair for everyone. So Yinghwa has shown how annoying he's gonna be. How many people remember the fat dragon in King of the Desert 2? There was one game where he had his eagle, and he was being extremely annoying. I think he was playing Yinghwa, actually. Players know how to be annoying with these eagle warriors. So I imagine it will be man-at-arms for both. Benefit of having Aztecs here is that they can mass more men-at-arms because they start with extra gold. Incas, they have very cheap towers, so it wouldn't surprise me to see villagers come forward as well. But certainly a matchup where you'd favor Aztecs, but in these meso wars, sometimes it can be a race to man-at-arms and eagles, so anyone has a chance. T90, maybe you add the map to the scoreboard if you tune in and see an unfamiliar map you want to know. No, TaxD, I don't think it's necessary. The best thing about Twitch is that you, as a viewer, can say, hey guys, what map is this? And then everyone can say, hey, you know, this is the map. Or if you're watching on YouTube, you could hear that you could scroll back and listen to the introduction, right? I'm personally, as a streamer, and maybe it's just me, I'm not a big fan of tons of commands. I'm not a big fan of of too much information, too much busyness on screens. Like, we gotta interact with each other, man. Wow, I'm glad you asked, Fat General. You said, hey guys, what map is this? This is Hidden Cup to Arabia. Perfect example. By the way, for those watching this on YouTube, you're probably going to see the whole best of 5. I don't think I'll be uploading the individual games because there'll just be too many games to do then. So I hope you enjoyed the whole best of 5. There will be breaks in between the games, just like we experience here on the live stream. Yinghua, he's on his way to Feudal Age. LaaaaaN is on his way to Feudal Age. LaaaN is getting some walls up now. He has a pretty good base. This hill could be a problem, but he's a pretty solid base. Taking his deer now. And with the amount of lumberjacks Yinghua has, I'm fairly certain he's not going to go forward. And in fact, oh, he's not even making any militia at this point. So does he want to go directly into archers? That's got to be his other option. Okay. Well, I expected Yinghua to go forward. I think LaaaaaN also expects that. So LaaaaaN might be planning on waiting patiently at home for his opponent to arrive. And his opponent might never show up. Man-at-Arms is on the way. Yinghua should probably try and distract with his eagle. Instead of running back to his base, he should probably run to the left. Yeah, this is good. This is giving him some precious time to make those archers. Oh man, it's so tough though. It's so tough to justify straight archers. I talk about it all the time in my cast. It's so slow. I mean, he has the ranges up pretty nice and early here, but as we speak, he'll just be on 1 archer, and his opponent has 5 military. And did LaaaaaN cancel his man-at-arms upgrade? No, okay, he has it. Nice job from LaaaaaN. He placed the palisade here on the wolf. That tells him the wolf is there, but also if the wolf were to have moved, he would have known that Yinghua would have sent something forward. Nice little trick. I'm not sure if 3 archers is going to be enough at the start. Depends on the micro. Remember, we have a Chinese player versus a Spanish player. But LaaaaaN sees this, and LaaaAN's response is to make an eagle. Yeah, so if you get a few eagles in the mix, it makes it more complicated for the archers. Just something to remember is that archers with fletching can definitely kill eagle warriors, and eagle warriors in Feudal, they mass really slowly, or eagle scouts rather. So, while eagles, you can't think about it like it's Castle Age just yet. Eagle scouts are still fairly weak, but once you get a bunch of them, and a bunch of upgrades like anything, they can be strong. So Yinghua surrendered full map control. He gave up full map control, and now he has quite a few archers. He needs the blacksmith. This is well done from him. This is well done from him. That's a lot of archers. And he has the resources as well to go for fletching. Very unorthodox for Incas. I do not think that LaaaaaN expected this. That would be 6 archers with fletching. Could easily kill the man-at-arms. I think LaaaaaN needs to force some walls or just force something from Yinghua. Because at the moment, I mean, he's fine at home, right? But at the moment, he's not doing anything with this army. At least attack the palisade walls, you know? Attack the palisade walls. Force some repairs. Attack the mill. You know, just do something. Well, he's going to be attacked here in a moment, and then he needs to run away. Uh-oh. Oh, he hasn't realized. This is so good for Yinghua. Yinghua, he kills the eagle. That's the important one. The man-at-arms probably won't do much for LaaaaaN now. So 2 quick and easy kills make that 3 quick and easy kills for Yinghua. The 12th seed in the 16-man bracket. There's something about these Chinese players, guys. They always know how to get results, and that's a good start for Yinghua. Now, I already spoke about the eagles that are being made by LaaaaaN. He's making eagles. That will not be enough, but if it's in combination with some skirmishers, it could be okay. And he's making skirms. His eco is safe. He's been collecting the deer. And Yinghua might not be able to find too many openings here. I mean, there is not a opening. Except for right through the TC. And you don't want to do that. So I think this is certainly going to Castle Age. It's been a pretty slow start, I guess. I mean, very slow but strong start for both players. Both going for different strategies. So if this is going to Castle Age, it's important that players mass their military units. You can't be losing eagles or archers. LaaaaaN, he might not be too disappointed in losing a few skirmishers, but he only has 3. Yinghua sees the range and he's probably thinking, oh no, how many are in there? He doesn't know. There's no way to know, unfortunately. I think the wise decision is actually to run back here. Okay, he sends 1 archer in to scout. Yeah, this is just to see what's going on. And I think the wise decision is to run back to his base. And just wait for Castle Age. He has a lot of resources. He's 700 food and 300 gold. He could click up soon. And unfortunately now he has to run away from his farms because of the eagles. And he will go back to his base. And he loses that archer there. But he'll be up to Castle Age. That's a really good time. That is a really good time. That is without a market. He didn't buy any resources whatsoever. LaaaaaN, he'll have to buy resources. He invested into 4 men-at-arms that did nothing. That could be the difference here. And I'm just very impressed with how solid Yinghua looks at the start. The thing about Yinghua is you don't see him play often, apart from tournaments. He just doesn't play a lot of games, but when he shows up, he's a beast. So it's going to be crossbowmen for Yinghua, for sure. So he'll play this like Mesosivs used to be played. Nowadays, you see a lot of Eagle Warrior play. Oh, and LaaaaaN wasn't expecting the archers to come from this side. He loses 1 eagle. He could lose 2. Very close to losing 2. That guy might as well be dead. Yeah, what's LaaaaaN up to here? 1 barracks making eagles and 1 range making skirms. I'm not sure if that's enough. When players are going eagles, they're typically on 2 or 3 barracks creating them because they create so slow. And just a few skirmishers is vulnerable if Yinghua makes a few eagles or even just has a big ball of crossbows. Really like how Yinghua started this, guys. I said it yesterday. We could easily have 2 more Chinese players in the Hidden Cup 2 event. And oh my goodness, this is a disaster for LaaaaaN. I do not think that LaaaaaN expects Yinghua to be up already. Oh, it's a disaster, man. I wonder if it's nerves? I don't know. Maybe he's as surprised as I am to see that Yinghua's up already. Yinghua's getting crossbow and bodkin arrow. 9 kills and 1 death for him. Crazy start. And look at his economy. He's going for early ballistics. He's going for a TC. I mean, this guy's going to be so far ahead in economy and military. It's insane. But yeah, we have Mr. Yo, we have Fat Dragon, and we have Tim, guaranteed in the main event. They're in the top 14. But we have Lix, we have Yinghua, and I'll have to look at the bracket, but I think there's another Chinese player as well. So there's a lot of Chinese players looking to qualify. Poof, I'll be honest with you guys. It's looking really, really rough for LaaaaaN. He's getting chainmail armor now on his eagles. He needs to be patient here. Yeah, wait for Elite Skirm. Wait for his eagles. I still am not sure if he has enough eagles, but mass eagles can really put the game into your favor. Slingers. Oh my god, Slingers from Yinghua. How often do you see someone using the Slingers when they're playing Incas? They should be using them more often at the pro level. Finally, we will see it. Ballistics comes in, so Slingers counter eagles, guys. It's a unique unit for Incas. They can be created out of archery ranges. And this is not something that LaaaaaN is aware of, by the way. He doesn't know the Slingers are here, and he doesn't know the Siege Workshop is there. And that's enough crossbowmen to kill the skirms. Here come the eagles. I'm not so sure that LaaaaaN can fight that. He needs to be even more patient. Slingers are insane, by the way. They are absolutely insane. They will shred those Eagle Warriors. The Eagles don't have a chance. I think one thing that LaaaaaN needs is a Siege Workshop, and he's building it now. A few Mangonel shots, and he can turn this game around. The Mangonels counter the enemy Mangonels, Slingers, and crossbows. Ooh. Okay, this is something you do when you know you're behind in a game. You sneak your army around, and then you hope that you can defend at home. This is a nice idea. it's dangerous. But if he were to arrive at the wood line or the farms, wherever, he could kill a lot of villagers. And if he defends at home, then it could be his way to come back. All things considered, it's been a pretty rough game for LaaaN. He just lost another unit. 14-1 now, but at the same time, the Vill count's okay. So if you compare the population, it's mainly because of the military. And with one Mangonel shot here, LaaaN could be on his way back into this game. He gets it. He could also go for the crossbowman next. Yep. Yinghua reacts. He realizes what's happened. And there go the Eagles! This is exactly what I was talking about. Yinghua, he needs to quick wall his Vills, and he does successfully. Can he quick wall them here as well? This is huge, guys. Oh, he hasn't! The Eagles make it in. And at the same time, it looks to me like the next Mangonel that Yinghua sent forward has gone down. And LaaaN will get some Vill picks. So LaaaN actually takes a villager lead. The comeback is on here. Now, how many Eagles will he lose in the process to these Slingers? Quite a few, so he has to run away. But now on the front, the skirmishers are engaging versus the Slingers. Man, this is a quality game. This is a quality game. We're seeing a little bit of everything. Little bit of raiding, a little bit of booming. Every single unit that you would expect from these civilizations we're seeing. That battering ram is not going to kill the Mangonel. This is close. Yanghwa just has a large military lead because of the Slingers, but LaaaN finds these farmers again. It's not the first time that these farmers have been an issue. Now, fortunately for Incas, their villagers are affected by blacksmith upgrades, so that can help them, later on if they're being raided. No eagle upgrades, of course, for Yanghwa, so it's not going to apply to any villagers, but something to think about. And that was a beautiful pick-off there again from LaaaN to kill that Mangonel. That's 3 Mangonels that Yinghua has lost, and a battering ram on the front. Still, though, after all of that, Yinghua, he has a Vill lead again. He maintains a huge military lead, and this hill on the front is right next to one of the golds from LaaaN. LaaaN had a really good base to start with, but getting the rest of his resources will be a problem. Meanwhile, Yinghua just needs to secure this gold. He has plenty of resources. And wow, look at his eco. This guy's macro has been insane. We talk about micro a lot when we watch the fights. Macro is the eco. Look at his resources. How is he doing this? He's on his way to imp already. He's the same amount of villagers. He's on his way to imp already. And the way his eco is set up, seems to me like he wants to build a forward castle. And sure, LaaaN, he'll gain a Vill lead, but he needs to have the villagers for a certain amount of time for that to be worth it. I think what LaaaN needs more than anything right now is to take this hill back. Because if Yinghua upgrades all of these units, if Yinghua builds a castle on the hill, there's not much that LaaaN can ever do. And that's a big Mangonel shot for Yinghua. Yeah, good point. Yinghua eco is what you would expect from Aztecs. You're definitely right, man. You are definitely right. LaaaN hasn't had a lot of space to breathe here, so it makes it complicated to place farms and spread out that eco. And oh, the Mangonel shot from Yinghua! It's exactly what he would have wanted. Now the Eagles for LaaaN run around the right-hand side, but the Mangonel micro has been on point for Yinghua. There he misses. He needs a bit of micro here. But I think with his next Mangonel, he can kill this and then hold on to this hill. Oh, it's going to be close. Yes, he gets it. And remember, he has Slingers in the group. So he'll kill the Eagle Warriors pretty easily. Oh, man. Yinghua's micro has been so good in this game. He has 61 kills and 14 deaths. Now, granted, it hasn't been the best micro we've ever seen from LaaaN. But I don't think anyone expected Yinghua to put on this good of a showing in Game 1. I don't think people ever expected with him. People didn't expect it in King of the Desert. Doubt lost to him in King of the Desert round 1. And here in Hidden Cup 2 qualifiers. Just, it's exciting for me because it shows you how strong the players are who are only in the qualifier. It's kind of now or never for LaaaN. If this castle goes up, I think the game is over. So he needs a good Mangonel trade, but Okay, I mean, the castle's at 75%. He might be able to stop this. Nah, the castle's gonna go up. A lot of Yinghwa's army dies, but the GG comes in. LaaaN calls it because Yinghwa's an imp. Yinghua could, of course, upgrade these units, and he is, and he would have pushed back LaaaN, who wasn't really even close to clicking up. I have to credit Yinghua on game 1. He's gone for straight archers, which is so uncommon with Mesocivs, so uncommon with Incas, and I think that LaaaN fully expected the forward. He was scouting for it. He stayed at home with his man-at-arms. Remember that Aztecs, they have more gold, so they have the ability to make more man-at-arms, and yet LaaaN was at home because he was expecting the forward. And then by the time LaaaN got to Yinghua's base, he didn't do any damage with his man-at-arms. The eco for Yinghua was insane in this game, and he gets the victory in game 1. So I'll actually show you the achievements briefly before game 2 starts. Game 2 will now be the home map of LaaaN, which is Rooster. Take a look at this, guys. 77 kills for Yinghua and 27 deaths. That was a short game. That was a 35-minute game. What a beast.
13 months. Now do I go out for cocktails and mini golf or stay in for commie games? Who am I kidding? T90 treat T90 woo.
That was truly incredible. Game 2 will be coming up. From the civilizations they have, LaaaN has Mongols, Japanese, Chinese, and Celts. I think he'll go for Japanese or Mongols on this one. And then Yinghua has Italians, Huns, Spanish, and Slavs remaining. And I would assume he's going to go for Italians because Rooster is a water map. So I'll read it off again. It's Aztecs, Mongols, Japanese, Chinese, and Celts for LaaaN. It is Italians, Incas, Huns, Spanish, and Slavs then for Yinghua, okay? And we just saw Incas and Aztecs used for both of them. And Yinghua got the win. Sweet stuff. So it should just be a minute or two until the next game launches. Sabler, I think that's a very good way of describing Yinghua there. He was very clean. You know, it's just his economy, his play just seemed very clean and fluid. It made it look real easy, you know? There wasn't really a time where he struggled. Even when those eagles got into his wood line, he did have slingers there prepared. BX, thank you for all the bits over the past couple days. He's asking if there was a draft. Yeah, just answered that question. They're not doing the traditional draft because if they use that draft website in the main event, it will reveal their identities, and I don't want that, so I'm not getting them in the habit of that. Thank you, Sacco, for coming back, man. Sir Dolly, 6 months, is thinking about getting my spine removed. It's the only thing holding me back. Hey-yo. Thank you, Sir Dolly. All right, let's do this. We saw a sweet Rooster game yesterday. Wait, was it yesterday? I cast too many games. I saw one recently. I don't know what day it was this week, but I saw a Rooster game recently, and okay, it is Mongols versus Italians. Sweet stuff. So welcome again, guys, to game number 2 in the Hidden Cup 2 qualifiers. This is the first best of 5 over the next 3 days. There will be a lot of Hidden Cup 2 qualifiers. If you're watching this on YouTube, you've already seen game 1, so you probably have the information. LaaaN just lost game 1. He is now playing on his home map, and he is playing as the Mongols. And then we have Yinghua here, who is very impressive. He has Italians, and that deer is glitching out for him. So I'll explain the map because there's a lot of people who've probably never seen this. This is a classic water map. Back in 2013, 2014, when I started watching the competitive scene, this was a popular 1v1 water map. Now back then, players didn't use fire galleys. That was not a thing. Back then, instead it was just your regular galleys. And so it was normally a galley war. So it certainly changes how water is played. And I wanted to see, you know, how player styles might adapt to the fact that they do have the fire galleys now on a map like this. So it's fairly simple. You have the water in the middle, which is always going to be fought for. There's plenty of fish there, and that's why you need to fight for it. But then there's also a land area that connects them. And while players can wall it up, you know, players could easily break through those walls or transport around those walls. So 50% of the map is water, 50% is land, and you have to prioritize water first, and then land is always backup. It's different than islands, because on islands, very rarely do you see players pull off a transport, but you could do that on Rooster. And the game I referenced a few seconds ago, or a few minutes ago, that we casted a few days ago, was won by a transport. No, actually it was yesterday. It was yesterday. And I don't know the order on upload. Uh-oh. No, LaaaaaN! He forgot about his villager! That's so bad! Oh my god. And he calls this restart.
Yes.
Okay, so he should call it, honestly. It's a best of 5. It's not like it's a best of 9 where you have a lot of games. You have one restart, and he calls this restart. So there's one restart, whether it's because you don't like your map gen, or because you had a Dark Age mistake. This is standard for Age of Empires 2 tournaments. And so he calls this restart. It's important he does, because he needs that food as quick as possible, because he's Mongols. So we won't waste any time. We'll go back. There's no restarts available for land now. And then, of course, Yinghua has one remaining. It was won by luck. Hera couldn't see the siege in Erenbai. Was it luck, though? Was it luck? It's certainly unlucky. It's certainly unlucky for Hera. But you have to remember, you have to make your own luck, right? And so the opponent went forward in that game, and he got reward from it in the end. I definitely understand what you mean, though. There was certainly a lot of unluckiness involved. That was funny. There's probably people here who haven't seen it yet, so I don't want to spoil it, okay? Thank you, Grand. T90 wrecked indeed. Were you the only one? I think people have forgotten that T90 wrecked is like a dead villager. That's one of the most creative emotes we have on the channel, but it's been around for so long. And it's like, oh, we've had this for 2 years. It's no longer special. That's one of my favorite emotes. So they will play on the same map with the same civs. No, Rooney, the map is not Bay. The map is not Bay. Britannicus. It is Rooster, my friend. It is Rooster. Okay, so as I just said, we have the... Wait, where's the gold? This is bugged. This is bugged. I need to message LaaaaaN real quick. Yeah, this is bugged. 1 second. That's a bugged map gen. He doesn't have gold. Sorry about that. We'll have to look at the map gen, but
Yes.
Vivi's saying bugged map. They'll fix it. We'll fix it. Poor LaaaaaN. He's not having... This is his home map, man. This is his home map. He's not having the best of luck here. So this will be an admin re. Let me just make sure the players hear from us. Yep, they're coming back. Perfect. So anyway, third time's a charm after all. They'll try this again. Mongols versus Italians. What's up, chat and T90 official? Back from holiday. Time to catch up with this beautiful community. Dude, what'd you do? What'd you do? Did you go somewhere? Did you just get to hang out at home? Go out with friends? I'm happy for you, man. Yeah, unfortunately, it would have been 3 golds for one player and 1 gold for the other that was really far away, so we will redo this. Dude, T90 official, every AoE fan will absolutely love Lauder. I used to play AoE 2 with its soundtrack on all the time because the two fit so well together. Take your time watching the movies. You really have to immerse yourself into the experience. I think that's the problem, Wise Turtle. I don't really immerse myself into any experience except for Age of Empires 2. I think that's my problem. Dave calls it Lauder because he plays there's Lord of the Rings Age of Empires 2, so
Force nothing.
I'm disappointed in Twitch. I didn't get the notification for when you started streaming. Also, should I watch Hidden Cup or practice build orders so I don't get too slaughtered if I get in a community game?
Well, Gathis, I guess it depends. Do you want to be a legend or not? How badly do you want it, Gathis? That's my question. I'm kidding. I mean, these games are going to be pretty good. I definitely don't expect a sweep. So I don't think we have any worries there. I will be doing community games later on today, though. Guardian says he was in the UK for 5 days to see some friends he hadn't seen in a long time. Nice, that's awesome.
5 months since January, time really flies.
Yeah, glad to hear that, man. I think everyone needs a few days to unwind and step out of reality every now and then, right? Thank you, Estove. I know, wait, 5 months since January? That doesn't make any sense. Maybe Twitch is screwing up, but certainly time flies, man. January feels like it was just yesterday, I suppose. I don't know build orders, and I've won 2 community games. Ah, nice. Harry's look at that brag from Harry. Look at that humble brag. That's not even a humble brag. That's a non-humble brag from Harry. You better be careful, Harry. You're gonna have a target on your back later on in community games. No, when I can't watch shows and movies usually where I have to put a lot of focus into it though. So that's part of my problem. Anyway, back to the game. Map seems fine this time. Perfect. No bugs. And we have LaaaaaN who's in the red. And Yinghua who's in the blue. So we talked about this before. LaaaaaN already used his restart. He's playing as the Italians. Sorry, he's not playing as the Italians. He's playing as the Mongols. Yinghua is playing as the Italians. The benefit of being Mongols here is that you can advance faster to the next stage.
Daylight savings.
It's quite a big deal, actually.
Makes me sad. 1 less hour of content.
If you advance faster to the next stage, then you can get your fire galleys out earlier on water and fight for control of it. And that would be the only downside of being Italians here is that you're not going to advance as fast as Mongols. In fact, LaaaaaN has already gone to push in deer and already gone for his pig. This is why calling the restart was pretty much essential for him earlier, because he didn't have access to his food, and you need to take advantage of that. Mongols hunt so much faster. Taking the pig first just makes sense. Even getting the deer now, so good stuff. Now the cool thing about Italians is they're better in almost every way as the game goes on water. Advancing to the next stage does cost 15% less for them. Dock techs cost 50% less. And gunpowder units cost 20% less. That's normally not something you'll see in this matchup, but it's one of many things that makes Italians good. Oh, you know, Yinghua can't find his pig there. You see that? Now the pig might move around a little bit, but he's looking for it. And it's just hiding there. Oh my god. It's just hiding there. Well, he'll find this one, so he has some time. He might assume... Oh, there it is. It's moved. This is not the hidden cup. We call this the hidden pig. Okay, now will he notice it? That's the question. I think he should notice that. Depends how much he's looking. Maybe he's blind like me. So normally, because Mongols advance so much faster to the next stage, they are going to have a few less fishing ships. So it's very important that they do win the early engagements on water. As I had already said the first time we tried to cast this before the restart, this is a map we used to see all the time in expert tournaments, and we don't see it too often nowadays because of the new water meta. I'm going to assume Yinghua does see that pig now. Maybe he still doesn't realize it's there. But there's his dock. There's the dock for LaaaaaN. LaaaaaN gets his dock up slightly faster. LaaaaaN finds his sheep, so he should be good to go with food. Even has deer out here if he wants it later on. Once again, there's an area that connects the two players for land. And I'm expecting to click up any moment now for LaaaaaN. LaaaaaN, same thing. I think he'd click up around 20, 21 population as opposed to 24, 25. And the reason the population is so much higher is because you have the fish. So he's adding one more villager, and then one more fishing ship, and then maybe then he'll loom. So that'll take him to around 21 population. Okay. Yep, he'll get loom. He'll be on his way up after, assuming he can get 110 more food. Land finds where his opponent is. It's not very difficult to do that. And he needs more food. Drop off the fish and garrison the food here. He's got just enough. Just enough. And notice how he's fully committing to water here, guys. He's going to leave the sheep to decay. He's got some leftovers here underneath the TC, and then he's got some extra TV dinners in the freezer, I guess. Oh, and the scouts are fighting here. Now, that's actually a fight that Yinghua is winning currently, but you have to remember, once LaaaN hits Feudal Age, he'll get more speed and attack. So, LaaaN needs to wait until he's going to be near Feudal and then turn around and fight. And I think Yinghua realizes that risk. And so he stops chasing. Villagers to gold. Villagers to wood. Another dock. LaaaN has 3 fish. It is 4 for Yinghua. LaaaN has a 45-second window to do some damage. That's not a huge window, but the players are also fairly close together on water. It's a beautiful map. Also, with the new PC setup now, since the terrain is so much more HD, I feel like the water looks awesome. Do you guys agree? I'm not necessarily a huge fan of water maps, but yeah, I think it looks awesome. And this scout is going to die for Yinghua. That's perfect timing for LaaaN. That is perfect. Now, something to remember, Yinghua has now lost his scout, so he can't scout if LaaaN tries to go for land. So if at any point LaaaN wants to go for archers or towers or whatever, it probably won't be scouts, but normally archers, then LaaaN won't have a scout to patrol and see that. Now, sometimes you'll see players, if they feel like it's going to happen, wall this up, but at the moment that would be kind of a waste of villager time. Now, I say that, and it seems like these villagers going out there to do just that, so and maybe he will start walling up just in case. And here comes the first 2 fire galleys. And that's a perfect start for LaaaN. He should be able to kill 1 fishing ship. He has a huge head start. The rest of the fish run away. And that fishing ship will die, and the other 3 run away. Great start for LaaaN. Yeah, Mongols are going to be a good civilization in this tournament. Not necessarily on Arabia, but on some of these maps where it's important to take early advantages. Well, that's kind of a waste of a demo if you ask me for Yinghua. This fire galley could even be repaired if need be. And Yinghua's still trying to chase this thing down, and he can't get to it without sacrificing his own fire galley. And yes, okay, Yinghua is walling up here. So it's 3 fish to 3 fish right now. But it is 6 military versus 1. Yinghua's starting off with demo rafts and fires. But LaaaN's build order was so good, he got up so much faster. And his micro's good there as well, avoiding the demo raft. Yep, and that's a good trade for him. If a demo connects with 1 single fire galley, it's not worth it. You need to hit more than 1 normally. Oh, wow, a kill there for LaaaN. The fishing ships are being chased down here for LaaaN. He has 4 kills and 0 deaths. This is like game 1 all over again, except the tides have turned. This is big, big, big trouble for Yinghua. His fishing ships are dying. His navy's dying. 7 kills and 0 deaths. He hasn't had 1 single kill. Yinghua has now had 1 single kill. It's now 8 kills and 0 deaths. What a game. What a game from LaaaN. My goodness. Well, this was his home map, guys. He practiced this. And what's interesting, if LaaaN does win this game, and there's the GG, that was a very quick game. What'll be interesting is that Yinghua chose Scandinavia, which is a completely different home map. And that's what we'll see for game number 3 now. After game 1 was won by Yinghua, we used LaaaN's home map. And now, since the winner of game 2 was LaaaN, we'll go to Yinghua's home map. Sweet stuff. And that was a very dominant display, man. That was 8 kills, 0 deaths. I won't even look at the achievements. Just dominance from LaaaN. So Scandinavia will be coming up next. LaaaN has Japanese, Chinese, and Celts remaining for his civs. And Yinghua has Huns, Spanish, and Slavs. I'm going to bet 5 subs. I will give 5 subs if I'm wrong, okay? I'm going to bet 5 subs to the stream that we see Spanish for Yinghua. Because Spanish... So this is another thing that excites me, right? So you never know what the home map pick is going to be for players. In the Hidden Cup main event, players will have home map picks as well. Now, Yinghua has gone for Scandinavia as a home map, and I'm fairly certain that a lot of the Chinese players will choose that because it suits their style. And if you choose Scandinavia and then go Spanish, you'll see a lot of walls and the conquistadors, typically. So we could talk about that once the game actually launches. That should just be within a minute or two. Thank you for your patience in between matches. But yeah, we are casting this live at the moment. But I don't think there's a lot of European players, like the European pros. I don't think they're going to pick Scandinavia. So I think that during the main event of Hidden Cup, which will be April 11th through 14th, when we're trying to guess who is who, if we see Scandinavia, we've got to put that on our list and say, okay, that could be Yo, that could be Vivi, that could be Yinghua. Hey, Yinghua might make it. T90, I don't know if it's possible, but you might want to artificially lengthen the YouTube Hidden Cup upload so there aren't any spoilers from length time. Here's the deal with that project. It's a great idea in theory, but it's a lot of work. I'd have to record it locally. This is the fastest way. Record it locally. Then I'd have to re-render it all by adding however much time near the end, like an hour or two. And then I need to upload it. Whereas if I stream it, I just clip it and upload it immediately. So I can imagine myself doing that for maybe one series, but to do that consistently doesn't make any sense. The reality is, and I don't want to sound like a jerk, the reality is, if you don't want the spoilers, you probably need to show up live, or you need to watch the VOD on Twitch. I can't do that much work for every single set of games. It's a good thought, though. It's a good thought. All right, score is 1-1. Like, trust me, I understand what people were saying when they bring that up, but it's with so many games being cast and so many sets of matches, it's not realistic. All right, here we are. We have Scandinavia. We have Huns. I was wrong. We have Huns. Wow, T90's knowledge is obviously hidden today as well. Japanese versus Huns. I expected Spanish. Looks like I got to gift 5 subs to the stream. All right, so 5 lucky people will receive subs. LaaaaaN is playing as a Japanese. He's in the red. He had a very, very good performance in the previous game. And then in the blue, we have Yinghua playing as the Huns. Huns is not a bad pick for this, but it's just not a pick I expected. Scandinavia is a map with water on either side. If you've seen this map before, you've probably seen it with snow. I don't use snow on my streams and videos, but you can see that there's at least some snow footprints. I just don't do it because the white is a bit too extreme for me. What's going on here? LaaaaaN taking his pig nice and early. Kind of a funky build order for him. At the start, he couldn't find his other 3 sheep out here, and he went the opposite direction. And now he has to get loom really early, so this is a rough dark age for him. I mean, what's weird to me is he found these 2 sheep, had them underneath the TC, but he was still collecting wood there. So yeah, not an ideal start for him. Scandinavia, there's 3 pigs, so you certainly won't be seeing players say, I know pig. There's plenty of pig, plenty of deer. That's the main attraction of the map, is there's a lot of food. And then there's a lot of water as well. So more often than not, you're seeing players wall on land, and then fighting for the ponds. You see the scout where Yinghua is right now? Yeah, that scout is probably going to scout the area where he will dock later on. I think he'll dock here for his own fish, and then he'll go on water to try and kill the fish from his opponent. At least that's a strategy that you see a lot. A lot of walling potential on this map. I mean, it's still open, but Yinghua could wall here, he could wall here, Yinghua. And then you have LaaaaaN, and LaaaaaN could wall in between his wood lines as well. Though I'd say it's more difficult for LaaaaaN to fully wall up his base. He's still fine though with lots of back gold options. This is a fun map. And once again, I believe that you'll see a lot of Chinese players choosing this map. Oh, this is interesting. Yinghua is not expecting LaaaN to have Loom, because you normally wouldn't get Loom this early. So he was looking for the dock villager. And you know what? The rough start has actually helped LaaaN here. He was forced to get Loom earlier, but now he's going to kill that scout most likely. We'll see though. The scout still can scamper back to the TC, but you know, that's a nice little bonus for LaaaN. He's having an awful time with his economy though. Cool thing about Huns is you save a lot of wood, you don't need to build houses, so you're able to wall. It's also a very fluid tech tree, so you can make maybe full wall your base, fight on water, and then go for cav archers, you know? You could go cav archers, you could go knights. It's a very mobile civilization versus Japanese, which is rather slow, but strong. So Yinghua will have to aim to use that mobility in any way he can. And there he is with the fish. I remember Japanese fishing ships are almost impossible to kill. They are very tanky, so that's one big reason to have them on any water map. On top of that, they're very flexible. As a civilization, they have cheap mining camps, mills, lumber camps, which is an eco bonus. And I think the walling will begin now for players. Just the decision has to be made. Do they go for feudal? Or do they try and fast castle? I'd mentioned, I literally almost said I've mentioned salmon before.
Yes.
Because Humanoid said they also have great salmon. Thank you, Humanoid. That's not what I meant to say. I meant to say, I've mentioned Spanish before. The play with Spanish would be to full wall your base, and then use a mini fish boom to fast castle, and then you go for conquistadors. And if your base is fully walled, you can build your castle on the front so you're secure, and then you make the conquistadors. I mean, now I'm really curious to see how Spanish is utilized in Game 4 and Game 5. Because the maps are brand new. And I fully expected to see Spanish here, but okay. You know, Yinghua, he's on his way to feudal now. He has hunts. He has a strategy in mind, I'm sure. And LaaaN with that rough start, remember. He's looking to click up. He'll have one more villager. I think he'll be fine. Yeah, he'll be fine. There he goes. On the way up now. I don't see a single sneak villager. Oh, I see 3. See this, guys? This is to dock. I don't know why he sent 2 villagers. But this is definitely to dock. LaaaN has not done that. Wait, LaaaN is doing that. Yeah, the best thing to do is to either summon a pack of wolves against enemy villagers, which unfortunately cannot be done, or you can patrol your scout. Normally, players are going to encounter a wolf when they're on their way there. In fact, Yinghua maybe sent 2 to be safe, because he thought that there would be more than 2 wolves. LaaaN is protecting his own villager here, so I think both players are going to get their docks up. But remember what I said, Japanese fishing ships are almost impossible to kill. So I think that LaaaN, even if he's surprised here, he'll have time to react to this. And there's a dock for Yinghua, and then here comes the dock for LaaaN. And Yinghua knows this is a possibility, but he can't really stop it because he has a weak scout, right? He's looking, though. He's looking. 5 fishing ships for LaaaN. It is 4 for Yinghua. And Yinghua is just walling his base. He's even going stone walls now, yeah. He'll stonewall his base. I mean, this would have been a much better area to wall. But he'll go full water on this side. It's a good strat. It's a good strat. That's why he sent 2 villas for 2 docks, I guess. It's a really, really good strat. It's tough to justify against Japanese, but it can definitely work. Because it will be just 1 dock here for LaaaN. Oh no, it's 2. Okay, so LaaaN has gone 2 docks at home, and 1 dock forward. And I think Yinghua wants to tower. Oh, he wants to tower. And that, if he gets a tower up here, would hit the wood and the gold. Oh, a barracks. Okay. Alright. And LaaaN has scouted that there's docks here, so great job to have some defense I think if anything, it's better to be in land shoes, because he has 2 docks at home to defend his already strong fishing ships. And then it'll be 1v1 on the other side. And Yinghua does not have the strong fishing ships. Oh, and the repairs from land as well to save his fire galley. This is great for him. This is really good for him. He must be a strong water player. I don't see the guy play a lot of water in rated games. And we haven't seen any big water tournaments. Not that they even exist. But my goodness, he's outplaying Yinghua in these water engagements. Look at the repair again. 3 kills, 0 deaths now for land in this game. And he's attacking the fishing ships. This is really impressive. It's a great reason to pick Japanese, guys. The repairs on the fire galleys make such a difference because you repair faster than your opponent can kill you. So if you're at home, you already have the defender's advantage in the sense that you can create units faster and reinforce faster because you're near your docks, but in this situation you also have the repairville. It's kind of like Mangonels, how Mangonels can be repaired. Yeah. Yinghua, he's going to take the deer. And that is one difference that I've noticed here. The deer are... Oh no, they are being taken by land. I knew he had walled some of them out, but he still has some deer here. And Blue's fish just running around on this side, I think. This fishing ship is doomed. This fishing ship is gonna survive, actually. For now, though.
Why is the queen allowed to move free in chess? Because the ground is checkered, like the ground in the kitchen.
Heyo! I see what you did there. Yeah, this is where Yinghua needs to transition to land. He needs to transition to land. So, he's Huns, he has more flexibility there because he saves so much wood not having to build the houses. He's obviously going to lose his water, so building the archer range will start making some archers. And I just heard a demo over here somewhere. Yeah, the demo went off, but you know, the reality is there's 5 fishing ships now for land, and there is 0 for blue. I mean, he has them, but they're not working right now. So Yinghua definitely needs to start making archers, and if you're land, you need to be aware that that's going to happen. You're confident that you're ahead on water. You have to make sure that you hold on land.
YouTube videos which really inspired me to try something else. Now I only play Farming Simulator 19.
I don't know what you're talking about, Degro. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Oh, did land scout this? He found it. He found it. This is huge. Using that scout, the importance of the starting scout, guys. I love it when that pays off. He now sees his opponent as Stonewall. He sees the archery ranges. And he's also fishing on the other side. So he has 9 fishing ships now. This is kind of funny. That fisherman. What's he doing? Not that that matters. So land's on the way to Castle Age with his fish boom. And the archers will be on the way for Yinghua. Yinghua has to rely on farms, which takes a lot longer to pay off. And it's a big investment. And oh my god, look at these bills. These bills want to eat the deer. They can't get it. Oh, that's so bad because they won't show up as idle villagers either when he checks his hotkeys. Because they're technically going after the deer. That's funny. He's so focused on everything else, I suppose. He doesn't realize that this is happening. They're just stuck there. That guy's actually stuck in the wall. Maybe they're trying to save him. That's probably what it is. Yeah, look at the Japanese fish. What's gonna die faster, the fire galley or the fishing ship? Okay, the fishing ship. But still. And here come the archers. So land, he has the food income. He's thinking about going knights here. He needs his barracks first, and then he'll have to build the stable. So he is. This is not clean by any means. This is not easy for him to pull off right now. But he's had a much faster castle time. I mean, a much faster castle time. Has a huge lead. Should have plenty of time to deal with that. Oh my god, Yinghua, these idle villagers, dude. Look how many idle vills he has. Okay, now he realizes that has a lot of idols. No wonder he doesn't have food. That's got to be a frustrating thing to see, and There's a stable, there's a siege workshop for land, so he'll go for mangonels and knights. And he has his 9 fishing ships and his 3 for blue. And to his credit, Yinghua has kept his fishing ships alive to get a bit more value out of them. So well played there. But I don't see them lasting that much longer. Yinghua needs to buy himself a lot of time. 2 TCs now for land, so he'll even catch up with the villagers. And he has the mangonel, and he'll have a knight. That's a lot of fish. I'm not so sure that Yinghua is doing all right. I'm not so sure he's going to be in a strong position in Castle Age. This is looking rough for him, man. Basically, what he needs to do when he hits Castle Age is go all in on lands with cab archers and knights. But he can only afford so much. Right now, he needs to wait for Wheel to finish. Once Wheel finishes, he'll be on his way up. And he can't even find another area to do damage with his archers. He can't be sneaky because land is on 3 town centers. Yeah, this is a game that land should definitely close out. This is a game that is being played on on Yinghua's home map. This is supposedly the map that Yinghua has prepared for. And here he is losing on it. He'll lose his archer ranges. I really didn't understand the forward archer ranges. Why not build them behind your walls, you know? Anyway, he'll lose those. He's building gates. And we'll see. We'll see what he wants to go with next. Repairing the dock, actually. But has lost the villager. He could try and go back on water. I see him making a few fire galleys here. Okay, maybe that's the plan. Yeah, he wants to clear out this side. He has cleared out this side. But now he doesn't have the other side, so... Definitely needs something on land, because now land has a villager lead, and villager lead on top of the fish fleet is a pretty big one. Don't kill the knight. Don't do it! He doesn't deserve it! Oh... Sorry, buddy. Some friendly fire there. This is the blacksmith as well. The blacksmith could go down. Scale barding should complete, but if Yinghua wants to get any more upgrades on his knights, the blacksmith will no longer be there. So 1 stable knights and then heavy on water? Is that the play here for Yinghua? Kinda seems like it. I mean, he could fish on this side if he wants to catch up in economy, in theory. He's getting War Galley. It's 18 military versus 6, and it's because of all the navy on this side. That's a lot of navy. A War Galley will make his fire galleys be fire ships. These archers have run straight into TC fire. Land noticed that. He had the outpost there. Oh, the blacksmith is still alive. Yinghua is barely still alive. Almost 20 vills behind now. And the fishing ships. Just has that military lead. The guy has a lot of resources. But his food's probably going to disappear pretty quickly as he starts to create more villagers. And create knights and whatnot. The archers are running down this way. Has he redocked on this side? He hasn't, but you know, one thing I'll say is that Yinghua seems to have more navy. Like, is land investing too much into his economy and not enough on water? Because it seems like he's going to lose this side. And he could lose this side as well. Like, that's been the one big thing, is that he's had the fish boom. I guess there's not a lot of fish remaining now, and he's transitioning to the Vill lead, which would be more important long term, but still. He'll give Yinghua an opportunity to fish boom back into the game. And that's exactly what he's doing right now. The Vill lead is significant, but he's giving up some of the areas that he's already won. This is risky stuff. I feel like the better play would be to play defensive on land, which he's done, and defensive on water, which he has not really done. Yinghua has found a way to hang on in this game. He's killing the docks. He's killing the fishing ships. Well, you know, they're Japanese fishing ships, so not really. Look how tanky the fishing ships are. It's insane, man. Alright, he got one. Let's go Yinghua. Let's see if he can bring this back a bit. Guys, how is he going to click up? He's going to click up to Imp first. How is this a thing? He's on his way to the Imperial Age with less villagers and less fishing ships. Let's go Yinghua. Well, it's because LaaaN has 1, 2, 3, 4 TCs? 3 TCs. So he's pumping 150 food into these town centers being active. Which will give him a reward later on, but it does slow down his imp time a bit. Gill nets now for Yinghua because he has the fishing ships. Now there's fish here, remember. There's not a lot of fish here for LaaaN. At least there won't be much remaining. Now what's the play for Yinghua? Really, really close game. I don't know how much he's going to have, but I'm thinking Cav Archers would still be a good idea here. I don't know if you want to make Knights versus Japanese. Japanese and their pointy boys can be dangerous, and LaaaN is now right behind him on the way to Imp. I think it will be Cav Archers for Yinghua because I see Bodkinero on the way, and there's his first arching range, and there's another TC. He's about 15 vills behind. The fishing ships are even for now, though I think that in a moment we might see the fishing ships on this side die for LaaaN. LaaaN, though, has had more villagers and for longer. And this is where you start to see that payoff. He's already built the castle. He'll build another TC. He's building the barracks. He has a lot of resources hidden behind here. I'd like to see some walls. If he walls here, the only way that Yanghwa can approach is to attack the castle. Where's the stone miners? There's not a lot of stone income for Yinghua. So another reason that he's able to go imp faster is because he didn't have a lot of stone miners. Instead, he had lumberjacks and farmers and gold miners, so he can't treb push, is my point. He's gone for the faster imp, but he has to do something with that. And right now, he just has one Cav Archer. Imp will give some momentum to Yanghwa, potentially on lands. Huns are the more mobile civ here. So it will give him Bracer. And it could give him a Hussar. I'd really like to see him try and raid. In LaaaN's position, you need to not allow that. You need to wall up. I would try and even wall here. Why not, right? You have the villager here. Stonewall that. Stonewall this. Force everything in through the front. And LaaaN has lost a knight there. Sees the siege workshops on the way up. Yinghua is not aware that there's a castle placed here. So LaaaN will want to go very defensive still. Go for Halberdier, play defensively. He's going for the Japanese towers, actually. It's not a bad play. Not a bad play at all versus Cav Archers. It's so tough to push Japanese nowadays. But somehow Yinghua's back in the game. We have 112 population for both players, folks. This is the first best of 5 qualifier. These guys... Basically what that means is these guys weren't good enough to make the main event of Hidden Cup 2. That just goes to show you how good the top 14 is going to be. My goodness. Parthian Tactics, Elite Skirmisher, Chemistry. So a lot of ranged units for Yinghua. The forward buildings have really been confusing to me. Like, maybe it's because he has villagers forward and he wants to make use of them, but... don't truly understand all the forward buildings. The siege workshop is now going to go down. And here he comes with Cav Archers. Looking for Vil picks. Wow. Halbs shred Cav Archers if they get in close. Did you see that? Oh man, Japanese halberdiers are nuts. You could honestly just go Trebs, Skirmishers, and Halbs, and there's not a lot that Huns can do. I think Japanese, certainly one of the best trash civilizations in the game. Yeah, Yinghua keeps trying to get in, and he gets pushed away. And how important was it that LaaaN got those relics? He has 4 relics in his base. There's just 1 more remaining, so that's more and more gold for him as the game goes on. So I wouldn't pay attention to score too much right now. I don't think LaaaN should either. They're experienced and they should know that Yinghwa's score is only higher because he doesn't have water. Water really boosts your score in this game. My goodness, I mean, horse collar just now coming in for Yinghua. That means he'll have some T90 farms back at home. That's going to be a problem for him. And I think that LaaaN is just taking his good old time here, getting all of his techs with his extra economy. and the patience has paid off. I like the guard tower upgrade a lot. I like the halbs. I like the trebs. And he needs to find something to treb down now, but this is good stuff. He doesn't want to give Yinghua too much time. He might even guard tower push this. Good Mangonel shot. Huge kills there. Yeah, he might just guard tower his way in here. And then treb everything down. Yeah, sure, a few halberdiers are dying, but they're halberdiers, they don't cost gold. And that's exactly what LaaaN's gonna do. LaaaN with the power of the towers. It's an intelligent move. You build one castle, then it doesn't secure that much ground, but if you build a bunch of towers with the Japanese upgrades, it makes sense. It also removes the mobility from the equation. LaaaN can't use his mobility. He can't try and hit the flank because, or did I say LaaaN? Yinghua can't use his mobility with Huns because he has to address the towers. I believe what Yinghua is hoping to go for is a ram push on the sides, but the Mangonels are already prepped. The stone walls are already prepped. Heavy Cav Archer now for Yinghua. That's an expensive upgrade, man. That is a very expensive upgrade. He's already losing his TC. And LaaaN needs to get his tower upgrades. And he needs to get more halbs and more trebs here. He's lacking food at the moment, guys. He doesn't have a lot of food and wood. He has plenty of gold. I think Yasama's fairly expensive as well. Keep is fairly expensive, so if he wants to get those upgrades, he's a long way from that. So halberdiers and towers. It's not been that effective yet because he doesn't have the unique tech. It's not been that effective yet because Yinghua is holding on and has a trebuchet taking these down. He needs more. LaaaN needs more for sure. I would really like to see a transport here. I would like to see Yinghua transport Cav Archers around. Or transport villagers around and start building stables and raiding with light cav, you know? I think you have to get around those walls. Now there's keep, now there's bracer, so the upgrades are coming in. But it's 54 military versus 34 military. Still keeping in mind that some of that military is navy for blue that he doesn't necessarily need, but what a game this is. The population's close. There's different advantages for both players. And the towers that we're pushing forward are being pushed back. And LaaaN is just trying to build more of them. I think he had the right idea. But he just wasn't able to hit a crucial area yet. And Yinghua has done a tremendous job holding on here. And the halberdiers are dying. The towers are dying. Siege Ram's now on the way for Yinghua. If he gets enough Siege Rams, he could push this back. Oh, and here he comes with his Cav Archers. He wants in, guys. He wants in. Maybe he could kill the Palisade Wall with his fire ships and then make his way in. He will attack the Mangonels with his Cav Archers. I think you need some range if you're in LaaaN's shoes. LaaaN doesn't seem to have the food, which is surprising because he has a lot of vills. He needs to get some food for sure. If he gets some food and wood, he could make some skirmishers. I think Arbalest would be a good idea. Arbalest and Halb. The towers are killing quite a few Cav Archers, though. Oh, but the Cav Archers here will go in. And he has to build more towers. Crazy game. Can LaaaN starve Yinghua out? Yinghua has a bit of gold here, and he has one relic. Yeah, that's about it. Maybe 1,000, 2,000 gold max remaining. The towers are going down. The trebs are going to go down. And the Cav Archers are in, and they found an area where there's not a tower. I think there's a hole here, right? I think there's a hole there. Yep. Yinghua could run back here. He could sit right here. Really interesting game. Onager now for LaaaN. What? Onager. Wow, okay. Alright. Well, Yinghua, he has the lead in this game. No doubt about it. He has the lead in this game. LaaaN just hasn't been able to get enough military to push forward. And Yinghua is going to make Lightcav to potentially snipe the onagers. I mean, Yinghua has been insane this game.
So stumbled on all this about a week ago, reminiscing over one of my favorite childhood video games. I've never had the urge to donate anything on Twitch, but this is something that needs to be supported. Keep doing what you are doing. I'll be here as well.
Mexi, thank you very much, man. Thank you. I mean, you found a great time to get into the community because Hidden Cup has just began. Man, I'm so pumped right now. What happened in game 2? LaaaN, he won on his home map. We go to Yinghua's home map. Now Yinghua's coming back on his home map. This means the players have prepared. The players, they have different styles. This is just a qualifier. And to me, I'm not sure Onager will save LaaaN's day. I think that Yinghua is playing well enough right now where he can make Lightcav or Hussar and use that to snipe any Onagers. LaaaN, it seemed like he had the lead, but he just couldn't get enough LaaaN's military. I'm not sure exactly what it was. Was it the lack of eco? Was it... maybe he underestimated the amount of military that Yinghua could make? But, you know, Yinghua's going to get his relic, so he gets a bit more gold income. And as long as he keeps his cav archers alive, he can rely on mainly trash with the hussars and with the skirmishers. He has this trebuchet here. He's trying to take down this castle. And the siege rams for Yinghua are not going to make it in. I mean, LaaaN still has a chance. That's the crazy thing, right? It's not that LaaaN is on... Well, he could be on the verge of losing this game for sure, but it's not that he doesn't have an opportunity. With Onager, Halb, and Tower Defense, he could hold this. But it's not going to be easy. He loses his Onagers, but he kills the Treb. I think that was the big thing there. He kills the Treb. Now, Lightcav for Yinghua. Maybe he can get down this way. Again, earlier I said that LaaaN should probably wall. I think that he's about to be raided because he didn't wall. Alright. Sweet stuff. Sweet stuff. So I guess I'll take this time to just mention, because I think I'm going to upload this tonight, so I think I'll upload this Friday night for me. Saturday and Sunday will be Hidden Cup 2 qualifier games. All round 1 will be completed this weekend. Today, for those watching the stream, I'll be casting this, and then I'll be going offline and coming back and doing community games later, but Saturday and Sunday will all be round 1 Hidden Cup 2, not community games, but Hidden Cup 2 games. So I guess if you are seeing this and getting really excited on YouTube and you'll be around, make sure to stop by the stream or just wait for the YouTube uploads. The problem now for Yinghua, is the lack of gold. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to sell that wood. The cav archers are going in after the onagers. And if the onagers die, then the Treb stays protected. Yasama was completed, and that's that insane tower upgrade that Japanese can get. So these towers now are going to make very quick work of any unit that comes near them. I think they do 40 damage to a cav archer. If that cav archer was on full HP when it got hit, 40 damage. So just tower defense now for LaaaN, and LaaaN actually has the population lead. At least for now. 160 villagers. That's a bit of an overboom. I guess 30 of them are idle, though. My goodness. He's running out of stone to repair his castle. In fact, he's going to run out as we speak. And we just saw the Lightcav go in. So it's a tough task to raid with Lightcav against someone who has halberdiers that are so strong. But it is something that's important to do. I'm not sure what happened here, but maybe LaaaN was considering going out there with some type of a raid. It's not going to be easy for either player to finish off this game. It won't be easy for LaaaN because he has no mobility and because Yinghua is playing incredibly well. It will not be easy for Yinghua because he doesn't have the gold. But despite not having the gold, he's getting in here. And I believe LaaaN just had to purchase stone to repair the castle, and it's too late. The castle goes down. And there's still some golds here that LaaaN might need to collect. I mean, the guy has 150 villagers, but where's his army? LaaaN is just now getting LaaaN's cart. That's a problem. No wonder he wasn't able to make use of all those villagers. That's a big eco upgrade right there. But still, these towers, man. These towers are destroying any army that gets close to them. I'm still not convinced that Yinghua can push them. He's trying to raid on the outer ring. That's some good stuff right there. Yinghua just needs to keep selling wood, man. Next game, force nothing. Just keep selling wood. Keep selling the wood. The more wood you sell, the more gold you'll get. Say goodbye to your trebuchet there. He also needs to get in, for sure. He needs to start, instead of fighting in one area, he needs to try and get in multiple fronts. Yeah, I said LaaaN cart intentionally, guys. I said LaaaN cart intentionally. Why skirmishers from Yinghua? Well, why not? Skirmishers is a good move. It doesn't cost gold. It's range, which they have a bonus versus halberdiers. I mean, it's still tough when there's onagers, but he doesn't have the gold to make a lot of cav archers. You have to rely on skirmishers here. What's up, Tato? 9k wood now for Yinghua. He really needs to seed some farms with this, but, you know, we're sitting back here, legs propped up, enjoying the games. This guy, he's in the middle of a tournament match, and there's a lot of pressure on him, so there's a lot going on right now. So for the first time in a long time, LaaaN actually takes the military lead. Remember, he does have 4 relics. He has lots of gold. He has lots of food. He's getting ram now himself. Yinghua is building a castle here because he realizes this is bad and he needs to stop it. But yeah, I don't see that castle staying up. There's a trebuchet here. So I would delete that, Yinghua. He has cav archers, he has skirmishers, that's a lot of onagers. Yinghua still needs his micro. There we go, he's doing it. He's doing it, he's killed a few. But he's forced to repair this castle immediately. 11,000 wood. I just don't know if gold saves his day here, you know? There we go, he's just sold some wood. So he has gold again. But does that save him? He can make more cav archers. I would like to see the hussar upgrade. Use that gold and food to get the hussar upgrade. Also make a lot of rams. Rams will be key. There he is repairing the castle. This cliff is making it very awkward for LaaaN's units to walk through. And here's skirmishers and cav archers. And I guess LaaaN is going to raid with the pointy boys. Why not? Better than making light cav as Japanese. Raid with halbs. Don't tell me that Yinghua is going to keep his castle up. Don't tell me that's going to happen. Oh, he's so close to killing that onager. Just needs to kill the onagers and then his rams can kill the treb. Oh, but there's more of them. Crazy game. I think that Yinghua is running out of options, though. This push here is kind of what LaaaN wanted at the start of Imperial Age. Now, 1 point, he was at 130 pop, and Yinghua was at 200. So this is, I mean, originally it was a comeback for Yinghua. Now it's a comeback for LaaaN. But the way I see it, if LaaaN is able to keep his focus here, he will eventually, or he should eventually, be able to take down this castle. But you know, it's just tough for players to follow. We see trebuchets being picked off now. 2 light cav, 2 Japanese light cav are picking off trebuchets from Yinghua. That's sloppy. And I guess he's trying to deal with the expansion from LaaaN, as LaaaN is taking more and more of the map. He has halbs raiding in different areas. It's only 80 villagers for Yinghua. Can Yinghua push back? I don't know if he can. It's just so tough. It's such a stubborn way of playing, but it's how Japanese should play it against Huns. Eventually, once the cav archers are out of the picture, it would be a great idea for LaaaN to make champions alongside his halberdiers. Is he going to make cav archers? You know, Japanese cav archers are actually very strong. It's just the fact that they don't have a discount like Huns. Nah. I don't really love the Cav Archer idea. Maybe that was a big misclick. I think it was a misclick. I think he tried to get Thumb Ring, and he got Parthian Tactics instead. That has to be the case. Yeah, because he's making Skirmishers. Skirmishers is not a bad idea. You can use all your gold for siege still. Rams, trebuchets, onagers, and then just make trash. Somehow this castle stayed up. Don't ask me how. Just incredible resilience from Yinghua here. And don't ask me how Yinghwa's still in the game. The guy has played really well, but it's looking tough for him now. Remember, he's completely out of gold except for the one relic. There's no way he can get to the relics or get to the eco from LaaaN. And LaaaN is slowly trying to push his way in. It's never going to be fast with Japanese, but it is going to be slow and it is going to be strong. Yeah, Yanghwa has plenty of wood. I've been keeping an eye on that. He has wood. Well, not plenty. I mean, this is fine for now, right? But if he loses the left-hand side, then he's in trouble because he needs wood here, and this wood's being raided. I mean, it makes sense. He had 12,000 wood in the bank not too long ago. The guy's been chopping a lot of wood. Yinghwa's focus still needs to be distracting LaaaN and splitting up his armies. So he needs to attack here, he needs to attack here, he needs to try and split up forces. LaaaN needs to stop this from happening by making one big push. And you see this is working well for Yinghua. You see how LaaaN is coming back from the main attack? It's because of the mobility of Huns. So since Yinghua is now pushing here, LaaaN goes, oh shoot, I can't push on the front because he's going to get into my economy with his rams and his cav archers and his skirmishers. So I need to go back. That's an advantage for Yinghua. That's how Yinghua needs to play this. And did you see that ram snipe the onager? Good stuff, man. Really good stuff. Now at the same time, LaaaN is sending units into Yinghua's economy and building towers here and barracks here and stables here. Okay, I like it. And it's 182 population for both. We have stables for LaaaN. He'll try and raid the woodline and farm area with some light cav. This is a ridiculous game. This is a magnificent game. Tied up 1-1 in the qualifier. This is round 1 of a 16-man qualifier to see who makes it into the main event. What a crazy performance from both players. And since it's best of 5, this will not be the final game of this series, man. This is great. This is great. It's hard to root against either player now because this game has been full of swings either way. Like LaaaN's been winning, Yinghua's been winning. I still don't know. I still don't know who's going to win. I feel like LaaaN has the advantage because of the relics. And now I like the fact that he's getting these Yusama towers up and he's starting to ram push here. That's all well and good. But he could lose all of his eco. He could lose his relics if Yinghua pushes into his base. Still seems to be a bit more difficult for Yinghua to push in here than it is for LaaaN to push in here. LaaaN has 63 military. It is 60 military for Yinghua, but Yinghua, he's lost a lot of villagers to the light cav. He's down to 67 now. I think he knows he doesn't have the relics. He knows he can't easily push these towers back, and he finally calls it. What a game. Let's get some GGs in the chat for that one. My goodness. Well, have to say, impressive display from LaaaN. Impressive for him to think about the civilizations he might need for his opponent's home map. They picked the home maps before the series started. They picked the home maps before the civs. LaaaN chose Japanese. He used Japanese, got the win here. Impressive stuff. The next game is going to be on a brand new Age of Empires 2 map. This is for the Hidden Cup. We'll get to that in a moment, but 554 kills for LaaaN. And, man, it just a ridiculous game. Look at the gold difference. It wasn't as significant as you would think, was it? I thought Yinghua was dead. Can you type a 1 in the chat if you thought Yinghua was dead when he lost water on both sides? I thought he was dead. He was down 20 vills, and he didn't have water on either side. How on earth did that game go on for 1 hour and 11 minutes? insane play from Yinghua to even have a chance there. 99% of the map explored versus 97% of the map explored. Tons of researches. I mean, that was an amazing Age of Empires 2 game. Yeah, I thought he was dead as well. So the next map is called Cup. This is probably my favorite of all the maps for Hidden Cup 2. We haven't seen enough games on it to know how the players are going to play it, and I don't think the players have been able to develop strategies for it unless they've been practicing. LaaaN is up 2-1. LaaaN has Chinese and Celts as his civilizations, and Yanghwa has Spanish and Slavs. Okay. It's about to go down. This will be sweet stuff. T90 official deciding not to react to my question. Can I be rigged in? Is that your question? Do you want a reaction? Can my reaction be not reacting? Oh, I got to gift 5 subs, don't I? I was wrong with my prediction. I have to gift 5 subs to the stream. All right. So 5 people are going to receive some subs. Oh, that scared me. When you go to gift subscriptions, it said, it says gift up to 100 subs, and I thought that I clicked gift 100 subs. Woo, boy. I love you guys, but that's a lot. All right, we'll stick with 5 here. I hope you guys are enjoying the tournament so far. There you go. So that was done at random. So if you didn't receive it, I'm sorry. It's not that I hate you or anything. It's just done randomly. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you to everyone who has subbed on their own. We had Mexic with a nice message during that game. Thank you for the dono, man. It was an Algorn, Degro, Rosenbagel, a Tagels, Finny man. Thanks, guys. Thanks for supporting this. I think my total investment for Hidden Cup 2 will be close to $5,000 with what'll basically be $3,500 with show matches and prize pool contributions, not to mention paying for all the images and promotion for the whole event. So, I'm going to gift subs. I'm going to spread the love, but I have to pace myself. That's a lot of investment, right? Look at Legless Alex showing me up, gifting 10 subs. How dare you, man? How dare you? Oh, cool. Wow. T90, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Legless Alex gives 10. Oh, never mind. T90, he's a scrub. Couldn't you have done that later on, man? Thank you. Thanks, guys. Hidden Cup 2 Cup is about to begin. All right, here we are. Everything looks good. This is the first time we will see this new map in Hidden Cup 2. It is called Cup, and we have LaaaN in the red playing as the Chinese, and we have Yanghwa in the blue playing as the Spanish. Spanish versus Chinese, not the civilizations I'd expect here. Let's talk about the map. So it's probably brand new to a lot of you guys. I'll explain it from the basics onward. So first off, you have the standard amount of sheep. So that's not something you have to worry about. You have the standard amount of deer, 4. Standard amount of pigs, 2. And you have berries. Golds are also pretty standard. You have a main gold, secondary gold, and then a third gold. There's a neutral gold on each side, though. You'll see one here for LaaaN, and then there's one out here for Yinghua. That's the basics. Now, you're probably wondering what's going on in the center of this map, and I'll explain. So you can dock on either side here. There's a pathway that blocks this off, so you can dock on the right-hand side and you can fish. You can also build on this terrain. If you would like, you could send villagers forward and mill the shorefish, or, sorry, the salmon. There's variety in what you can do here. That means you can run right across and go forward. That means you could build up on water here. But the important thing to note is if you make a dock on the right side, your ships cannot make it to the left side, and vice versa. So if you dock on the left side, you cannot go to the right side. That means that, let's say, for example, Yinghua goes for full water control on this pond or this area of water. Then LaaaN, he goes archers with Chinese. He could send his archers around, and he could go right to Yinghua's base. So if you're going to control pawns, you're not going to control everything. Remember, there is a pathway that players can run across as well. And there's also gold in the center. So plenty of gold in this map, plenty of ways to be aggressive. And I've not seen LaaaN practice this map. I've not seen Yinghua practice this map. At least they did not do so publicly. I'm excited to see what strategies we're going to see in the qualifiers. Tato, he's there in the chat, and Tato is one of the players who has made it into the main event. You know, for the guys who are in the main event, they can watch the qualifiers and they could see the strategies that players might choose, you know? And they can go, oh yeah, that's a good idea, or oh yeah, that's a bad idea. So the qualifiers are kind of the guinea pigs. Obviously, they could train and practice ahead of time, but I imagine we'll see some different strats. Now, some people might be asking, well, T90, I've seen a lot of maps where Indians are OP, and where Indians are so overpowered they can send villagers out and collect the fish with their villagers. That's actually not the case on this map. The salmon only have 225 food, whereas the deep fish, I believe, have 400. And I've tested it out with various civs. It's better to collect your starting resources normally, like your sheep and your deer and your boars. And then if you're going to take the fish, you need to dock. Now, someone might prove me wrong. They might choose Japanese and go for the cheap mills. But, you know, I experimented a bunch, as did other players, and it seems like you have to start off standard and use the fish with fishing ships. But who knows? Maybe someone will redefine the meta for us. So the deer are definitely pushable, which gives you a lot of food early. What is Yinghua going to do with Spanish? Is he going to full wall his base and go for conquistadors? I don't get it. Also, what's interesting is he is not going to dock, and I don't think LaaaN is going to dock either. Now, what I think is the best play is to dock this side. You don't want to dock the smaller area, you want to dock the larger area, but we don't know what is best. That's the beauty of it. Yeah, you could tower rush the middle area. You can build on all of this. So it's amphibious terrain, meaning you can build here. Can't build on the water, obviously. You can build on this, you can wall on this. Plenty of options. Tato says, why no one is fishing? I don't know, Tato. I don't know, I don't get it. There should be fish. I think they realize that they can up to Feudal quickly if they push in their deer, but still doesn't make a lot of sense, and LaaaN just lost some HP on his scout. Where's Yinghua going? Tato, question for you. Do you think Yinghua looked at the map before playing? You'd know Yinghua's preparation more than I would. Do you think that he knows what the map looks like? Because if he knew what the map looks like, he should know that LaaaN is here. Something tells me he's never played the map before. It doesn't look like he has any clue. It's fine, man. It's fine. Is it scouts for both of them? There's the barracks for LaaaN. Looks like a scout build to me. No fish? Why are they not taking the fish, man? That's crazy to me. You know what? Something that you need to keep in mind is scouts can actually attack your fishing ships. So if your opponent goes scouts and you don't have spearmen, your fishing ships will die to scouts. I played Melkor, and I chose Mongols and he chose Malians, and I went scouts and I killed like 3 of his fishing ships. I mean, and then the others were just running around the map. He still beat me because he's better than me, but I did it. I did it, guys. I killed something. It's pretty easy wall off on this map as well, so you should be relatively safe once you get those walls down. Especially as Spanish, because you build faster. And scouts for both. Okay. Well, if they're both playing into scouts, that's got to favor Chinese. Because Chinese, they have better eco. They're always going to have a vill or 2 head start because they start with more vills, so it's 2 vills ahead for LaaaN. And he also has camels, whereas Spanish do not have camels. So I am kind of expecting to see Yinghua go to stone and go for conquistadors. People are asking some questions about the settings, about like how it works with the loser of the previous map. So in game 1 in this series, we had Yinghua win, and so we went to LaaaN's home map for the second game because of that. Had Yinghua won the second game, then we would have played the home map of Yinghua, because Yinghua had already used, or sorry, LaaaN had already used his home map. But there will be instances where let's say it's a best of 7 and we have 2 home maps. If the first person wins the first 2 games, then we get to see the 2 home maps of the loser. But that won't really play a role in the best of 5. So LaaaN's playing safe, Yinghua's playing safe, walling up their base. Nice wall off here. This is good scouting from Yinghua. Good recognition, he can wall up that way. Very good wall off. You know, still he has quite a few resources outside of his walls. And then now there's a dock from LaaaN. So he has docked. And Yinghua, who's down in the series, by the way, who apparently didn't see the map beforehand, that's just our guess, he has not scouted there's a dock. Like, the whole point of the map is that there's so many different options to be aggressive, so many different options for eco, and Yinghua, he's paying the price for not scouting, if you ask me. Tato says, I don't like how they're playing it, but on the other hand, both are doing the same, so it doesn't punish neither of them. Exactly, yeah. It doesn't punish them, Tato, but it has punished Yinghua now, right? Because there's fish for LaaaN. So sure, LaaaN didn't start off with the dock, as Tato and others might prefer to do on this map. But... well, I'll tell you one thing, guys. When we cast the main event, we know Tato will dock in Feudal, okay? So anytime someone docks in, like, in Dark Age. Anytime someone docks in Dark Age in Hidden Cup main event on April 11th through the 14th, we know it's Tato, confirmed. Yinghua, like, where are you going, buddy? Where are you going? What's over here? He is on stone. He wants to go for conquistadors. I can't comprehend what's going on here. Tata says first military unit is a demo. That's great. That's great. He's trying to get in here. There's no hole, right? There's no hole. He's not looking for the water. He could have killed the fishing ship there with his scouts. At least LaaaN seems to be keeping an eye on this area, you know? Weird. So, a Vil lead for LaaaN, and a fishing ship lead. Still, Yinghua is Spanish, and these Chinese guys, when they play Spanish, they are insanely good. Yinghua will see the fish. This could change his plans. Yep, now he's attacking the fishing ship. See, this is what I'm talking about. You can kill the fishing ships. And the fishing ships have to sail around. Now, if the fishing ship sits there like that, it can't be hit by a scout, but the other ones can be. Oh, just imagine a demo. You have a dock and then you send a demo over and boom! Teta's probably getting all excited. Yinghua's on the way up first. It's impressive how Yinghua's been able to macro in this series. In game 1, his macro was insanely good. In game 2, he struggled, not due to macro, but due to some other things. Like the fact that he was up against Mongols. It was a very quick game. Game 3, he fell behind and he hung on somehow. Well, he's trying to kill the weak fishing ship. He can't. Oh, got him. That's funny. Got him. All right, well played. Well played. And I guess the castle will be built on the front. You know, if you build the castle here, it protects both sides of the water. You could dock later on both sides of the water. That would be the ideal placement for the castle. Right here.
Hundreds of hours of YouTube content later, here's a $5. I'll be in a community game someday, count on it. Playing other games ATM. Your vids helped me become a much better player, thank you.
Wow, dude. Thank you, woo woo woo. I don't see a username called woo 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 in the chat, but thank you, man. Yeah, there's plenty of community games for you to get into, and LaaaN's patrolling into Spearmen. You know, I find it interesting just how little the fishing ships have done ever since the scouts scouted them. They keep running into scouts, and LaaaN hasn't gone for... Oh, he's docked this side. But he hasn't gone for any navy until now. Okay, there's a demo. He's made 2 stables, so he wants to make camels. And where's this castle going? The castle's going to go there for Yinghua. Okay. Well, I mean, I can make an argument for this as well because it protects his gold. But he'll have conquistadors. So we have a demo raft on either side. Remember, the ships can't cross. And depending on how the players are prepared, they may or may not know that. LaaaN now knows that his opponent has a castle. And so it's kind of tough for LaaaN now. He won't be able to do a lot of damage. But here's the point of this map. The point is to prioritize map control. Like, that's the thought process. You can build on this. So, theoretically, Yinghua could build a second castle forward here. So LaaaN needs to make sure that he's holding water with his camels, his knights, and his demos and his fire galleys. He needs to take advantage of the fact that Yinghua has given him the map. And he's doing that. He's doing that. He'll be on his 3rd TC. He doesn't have a lot of navy right now, but he's making quite a few demos. But then Yinghua, he can actually loop around. He doesn't need to go on the water. He can loop around. This is just so cool to me. I feel like this map is going to be the map of the tournament. And I could be way wrong. Maybe it could be the biggest bust of all Age of Empires 2 maps ever. But there's so much potential. And I think that like once the skill level rises, once we're talking about the top 16 who are in the main event, and we don't know who they are, it'll be so sweet.
T19
Oh!
smell like salmon.
Oh!
Also, there is a camel stuck near Red Gate near the water. He seems to be happily raving forks are best spoons.
The demo raft almost got in there. Now the camels are doing work anyhow, so he doesn't need to use the demo raft. That was interesting. Yeah, I saw the camel was trapped here. The camel, I think, has made it out now. I saw him glitched. There's a monastery for Yinghua. Thank you very much, Fork is best. I wonder who that is. One of the guys from the Fork clan talking smack about the Spoon clan. Isa says, I like this map a lot too. Well, good to hear. I mean, I could be biased because it's my event, but I genuinely feel like it could be awesome. Certainly, whoever has control of the water is going to have a huge lead as the game goes on, because demos and galleons will become stronger. So far, the conquistadors haven't done... Sorry for the allergy problems. The conquistadors haven't done much, and... Oh, LaaaN's gonna trap them here. The conks can't get out. I got real excited for a moment. I thought that I saw a missionary, but it was a monk next to a conquistador. Monk, get conversions here, man. Failed conversion number 1. And, okay, there is a conversion in the end for Yinghua. With 2 conversions, it could have been better for him. Keep in mind, when you mass enough conquistadors, you can hit and run. And I'm surprised he was able to get out of there without more losses. It's a nice job to prioritize the monks. He even has the relic now, and he is behind in vills, but all those camels and all of those knights have gone down for LaaaN. Or a lot of them have, and the rest have to retreat. You can demo down a castle with heavy demos. I know a guy, his name rhymes with B90 official, who played versus Melkor when testing this. And that poor fellow lost a castle to heavy demos. Luckily, that's not me. Towers for LaaaN. So 2 towers to protect his gold. And now a small mag and L push now for Yinghua. Well, a lot more food for LaaaN. He has had the fish. He has the Chinese eco, which is better than Spanish. LaaaN is looking to advance to round number 2 in the qualification bracket. It's looking pretty good for him. I think if he gets a castle up in defense, he can make Chukunu. Chinese have incredible demos. He could use demos, Trebs, Chukunu maybe in the next stage. Not sure, but one thing I do know is that Yinghua needs to push with this military. And he could build another castle forward, guys. Just 2 villagers here, and he's not doubt, so I doubt he'll try and build a castle with those 2, but... There we go, 650 stone. He's got to be thinking about it, right? He's got to be thinking about aggression. Where, though? Okay, here he is. There's the castle. See, is Doubt out there? Tato, can you clip this and send this to Doubt? I know you're on his team. Can you help him out a little bit before Hidden Cup happens? You see how Blue's sending more villagers? He's sending more villagers. This is what you need to do, Doubt. Tato, not Tato, sorry, MBL is asking. First off, MBL, you've been in this community for like 4 years, man, and you still don't know how to go to AoE zone and look at where all the info is. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, man. MBL is my roommate in Manchester. We can give each other shit now. So it's a 16-man qualifier. And basically whoever makes it to the finals, it makes it in. They get the final 2 spots, right? So the final isn't played. So it's a 16-man bracket. LaaaaaN was our 5th seed. I think Yinghua was our 12th seed. And Yinghwa's pushing. Yinghwa's pushing. Now, meanwhile, LaaaaaN is on the way to the Imperial Age. And he's building his castle defensively. But Yinghwa's going to click up right behind him, guys. This is a nice aggressive play from Yinghua. And a really nice game. 35 idle villagers for LaaaaaN. He doesn't have that much space to expand into. I think he wanted to build his castle here. He's currently out there collecting that gold. But it's not secure just yet. Now what Yinghua will probably try and do is force a Treb war. He has 2 castles to create Trebs out of. And LaaaaaN will... Well, I think LaaaaaN is in trouble. He doesn't have a lot of resources despite the Vil lead. He's making camels... But Yinghua could get conversions, and he'll have conquistadors, and he has enough of them, I think, to kill the camels. And if he loses this castle, he loses all of his economy, which is already looking nasty. Very, very nasty. What LaaaaaN needs to do is kill this castle, and he needs to stop Yinghua from pushing in, and then hope that his extra economy will save the day for him. That's what he needs to do. Can he do that? It's going to be tough. Fortunately, he'll be faster to imp. So he has that. He will lose his dock here. He needs to get heavy camel, which he's getting, and he needs to get a plate barding upgrade. He needs to get the final defense upgrade quickly. So when I first showed this map to a few people, they said, I think this is going to be too water dominant T90. And I said, I'm not so sure. And I'm glad to see that the map is not very water dominant. It can be, depending on the style of play the players adopt. No! That's the stable with heavy camel! That's the stable that's researching heavy camel. I think LaaaaaN needs to somehow stop this from happening. Oh, the conquistadors are fighting the camels. The stable is lost. The upgrade is lost. At the same time, the monks do go down. But if it's not heavy camel... then the conquistadors will destroy. Are you kidding me? He has to re-research that now. And meanwhile, the Trebs are coming forward, man. Oh, that's a disaster. Now, at least LaaaaaN will finish heavy camel. At least he has this gold secured. At least he has a Vil lead. Okay? And as Tato said, there are some opportunities for LaaaaaN. He'd have to redock now, Tato, because you can't send the ships across. Now, he's actually left his base. And he's left his Treb exposed. I don't like that. I don't like a lot of what is happening for LaaaaaN right now. And Yinghua sees another Treb. I mean, he's already done this once before. He could run right back in there and kill that. The camels are coming back. I think LaaaaaN is really... he's looking for answers in life right now. You know, he seems a bit bewildered by all of this. He's going to lose his castle. He's definitely going to lose his castle. Does Yinghua go water now? Does Yinghua try and castle this area? I think he could place a castle here. It seems like he knows. He could also place a castle here. It could be on this terrain. It doesn't matter if it's half water, half land. Seems to me like he was trying to do that. Oh, nice play from LaaaaaN to place a camel there. LaaaaaN needs to secure this with a castle. He doesn't have stone for it. It's a lot of camels. That's a lot of camels. It's a lot of conquistadors as well. Enough conquistadors to one-shot the camels, and so the camels have to retreat. These are Spanish builds, so I think the TC will go up anyway. Because they're building so quickly. And good decision from Yinghua. I was wondering, when is he going to make Halberdier as well? He wants to go Halberdier and Conquistador and build another castle, man. You just know is if we see Spanish picked in this tournament, if we see this style, everyone's going to be saying Fat Dragon. Like, oh, it's Fat Dragon. It's got to be Fat Dragon. It's so typical of him to build so many castles and be so aggressive. But LaaaaaN could stop the castle, and he's trying to attack the Conquistadors. I don't think he can get in, though. The positioning of the Conquistadors seems perfect. But at the same time, LaaaaaN has sent trebuchets forward, and LaaaaaN is going to treb down this castle while he's fighting the conks. And you know what? He's somehow getting enough camels. The extra gold is paying off. And just like that, LaaaaaN is back into the game. Wow! You know, I thought for sure that once pikemen came out with the conquistadors, that Yinghua would be in full control, but he didn't get the pikemen out in time. He's lost his castle. This castle's denied. And it's now 130 population to 95. In the previous game, we saw how good Yinghua and LaaaaaN were good at comebacks. Both players had multiple comebacks during that game. That was awful for Yinghua, though. It's not possible to get to that number of conquistadors again. That's simply too expensive. And now if he's relying on mainly pikemen, it's quite easy for LaaaaaN to make archers, and that's exactly what LaaaaaN is upgrading. Immediately after the fight, he's placing archer ranges. Oh! 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 Oh, man. I've never seen a demo raft hit conquistadors before. I thought we were going to see it right there. Oh, man. What a bummer. Well, we were baited a bit there. Where is LaaaaaN's stone at? Does he have more stone? Is it over here? Oh, yeah, it's over here, isn't it? Doesn't have another stone, so he can't build a castle in the center. Whereas Yinghua, remember, he's pretty safe at home. And he's castling the shoreline. I could see him going for water now. I don't think it'd be a bad idea to go for water control. He has gold. There's relics over here as well. If he takes this relic back home somehow, he'll have 3. I definitely think you need to shift out of conquistadors. I just don't know what you do with Spanish. Because Chinese counter Spanish in virtually every way. This just worries me. LaaaaaN has all this gold. Has Blue even seen it? I think Yinghua wanted to castle there earlier. Do you remember when he ran out here to TC? Or what I would believe was to TC or castle, and then he placed the TC in the north? He must know there's something there. Okay, LaaaaaN needs to lock down water right now. LaaaaaN needs to lock down the water. He needs to get either galleons or demos or something on water. Because I think the only way that Yinghua comes back is if he takes this whole left side with water. And it's so doable for him right now. At least make some demos or something. I love the fact he's starting to raid on the left-hand side. I love the fact that he's pushing this castle right now. This will be tough for Yinghua, but I think if he can somehow hold on land and then win water, he could maybe do it. He would almost have needed to have the water control earlier, because if he had the water control, then this army couldn't push. This is where LaaaaaN should be able to lock down the game and beat Yinghua in the best of 5 and move on. This is where it should happen. Spanish have paladins, Chinese have camels. Spanish have halbs, Chinese have archers. Conquistadors died to camel and archers. Chinese have amazing navy to counter the Spanish navy. There's just so many good things that Chinese have. No docks, no extra docks. I don't know if it's necessary for LaaaaaN. I feel like it's necessary for Yinghua. Man, that fight changed the entire game. That fight right here. If Yinghua was a little bit more patient, if you would have waited for pikemen, who knows what could have happened. And credit to LaaaaaN for getting the gold. I mean, he hasn't necessarily secured it. He has a TC there, but no castle? Who cares? He went out there. He prioritized the center of this map more than Yinghua did in this game. Yinghua hasn't built a single dock. Yinghua hasn't done much with the center of the map, which is so important. I see him getting scale barding now. He's trying to make skirmisher. I don't think that's going to be enough for him. What is scale barding going to give him? He's killed a trebuchet, sure, but he'll start losing all of his buildings. This camel and arbalest combo will destroy Yinghua. It's got to destroy Yinghua. That's got to be game. Yinghua has resources he can't spend fast enough. And he's getting ramped on this side as well. There's Arbs here, there's Light Cav here. He probably won't realize this. And Yinghua calls the GG. LaaaaaN, he will move on to play in rounds 2 in the Hidden Cup 2 qualifiers. Great stuff. You see the Cavalier research, you see the ballistics research. Fact of the matter is, in this Civ matchup, you can't catch up as Spanish. You need to get a lead and hold the lead, because Chinese simply have too many options. It was really, really bad for LaaaaaN for a while there. He had 40 idols. He lost his castle. He was getting pushed back. But, he took the gold. He was patient, kept his camels alive, and then he found the perfect time to strike right before the pikeman upgrade completed, right before Yinghua had the pikemans out. Have to say, LaaaaaN will have learned some lessons here in this best of 5. I think everyone's going to learn lessons. We're going to learn lessons as spectators. The players who are playing in the main event, they'll learn lessons after watching the qualifiers, so it's kind of good for them that they don't necessarily have to be the guinea pigs. But that was a great series, man. That was a great series. 160 kills for LaaaaaN. I'm not sure how I feel about the Chinese pick. I think that Mongols would be ideal on this map, but Mongols might be ideal on Rooster, which he won with earlier. So maybe Chinese is one of the best civs for this. We'll see. But certainly deserved the victory. Here's a look at the achievements. So for those that are watching this on YouTube, and for everyone who's watching this anywhere, I just want to get this out there. This is currently being streamed on a Friday, and this will go to YouTube on a Friday. Saturday and Sunday will be the other Hidden Cup 2 qualifiers in round 1. Saturday, I think we have 4 sets. Well, actually, I can tell you here in a moment, but anyway, so if you're going to be around on the weekends and you want to watch it live, I'll be streaming it on Twitch. And here's a look at the bracket if you guys are curious just who LaaaaaN could face. You probably recognize a lot of these players, maybe not all of them, but most of them. LaaaaaN has just beat Yinghua, and we will cast Twig and Daniel tomorrow, so whoever wins between Twig and Daniel will play LaaaaaN. Vinchester and Melkor, Dogal and Cloud, Fire and Belgium, Lix and Stark, Jordan 23 and John Slow, Say My Name and Miguel. These are all the players who are playing in the qualifier. And then the top 14 in the world are currently waiting to play the main event. And the main event will be streamed April 11th through 14th. Still have some awesome stuff I can't tell you guys yet about how it's going to be streamed and what's going to happen, but that stuff will be coming. And I think that was a nice, solid first set. What do you think, guys? I mean, the qualifiers themselves are amazing. We have Jordan 23, Miguel beat